the group stage with the big boys. Team that loses this, they're not out. They go down to the lower bracket, they get another chance to qualify. They'll have to win one more series. But this is the easy path. This is the way to take some time off early and get ready for the group stages. Rest, relax, prepare for your next matchup. We'll see what they can do. Rocking up by the scaffolding hallway is Beamus. He's going to try and chase down this kill. They've lost every single pistol round in this series so far, but let's see if mousesports can change their pistoling fortune. There's an HE on Dexter. A little bit interesting, but Shiro and Hobbit are shutting this down once more. And this is looking dire again. They may have just taken A. Bomb's going to be planted. Frozen gets a follow-up kill, so suddenly it's looking much better, especially with a late flank coming through from Rops. The ever-present Lurker is working his way through mid, and they just want to delay long enough for Rops to get in position, and here he is! There's one! It was actually Acore to get the kill, and Acore to get the second as well. mousesports have finally done it, Dean. They've won a pistol round.
Yeah, that's their first one. They had lost all 4 prior to that one, and I mean, that's got to be a bit scary to me, seeing Gambit now finally lose a pistol round, but hopefully that's not going to be something that knocks them too much, because when you're on 4 out of 4 pistol rounds, you're thinking, what happens if we don't manage to win one now, boys? Yeah, it's the Eagles and Kevlar, though. These have been, at the very least, every single time that we see this force spike come through, it seems to at least do some damage. We're not having any clean rounds. It's never been just easy with all 5 managing to actually live for a game, apart from, I think, maybe one like full eco, but even then, usually there was damage being done. This time, though, it's actually not for Gambit. They try and take a couple of peeks over towards the ramp right there and do immediately get punished. Even further damage done towards Shiro as well. He was taken down to 19, so it's just not looking good across the board right now for this force play.
They had 5 nades as well, and we really haven't seen the impact of them. Haven't even seen much damage from them. Hobbit will get a kill, but he's so low as a result. And they've now got a path towards A. It is open, ripe for the taking. Hobbit's there in mid, might come down the ladder, but Dexter could even be watching for it. They're trying to get something going in the flank, but no, they're actually going to back off in towards mid. It's just going to be left to Shiro, who's way back in the site. Again, low on the health. So what they might do is they might wait for the noise of the plant and then throw these 2 HEs to try and catch whoever's putting the bomb down to earth. It's not a bad strategy, to be quite frank. Here's the pin pull. Oh, yep, they've got 2. Where are they going to throw it to? What are they going to try and connect to with these HEs? They come through. Acore dodges almost all of the damage. He barely gets tickled. He'll now be able to punch in the numbers. And at that, Gambit are going to back off. Wow, they're going to save what they've got. They don't want to deal with this. They don't have the health for it. They know they'll get shredded, and they decide to punt. That HE play was their last attempt, their last throw into the round.
Yeah, makes sense at this point. The hopes of actually managing to retake that bomb site are very slim with the health, especially. See if you can save all of this over, have another shot pretty much at doing the exact same thing in this following round, and I hope that maybe you'll find a couple of kills at least from it to actually make the investment that they've put in worthwhile. But yeah, mousesports are able to exit pretty safely. Just going to chill up here on the ramp anyway. They don't want to be hunting at the moment. Great start. 2-0 coming through for mousesports, and, well, this is what they needed. They're on the T side as well. It is obviously Vertigo, so they'll be looking to build up a pretty strong T side for themselves in order to be feeling comfortable once they swap over, but this is always the start that you want. But yeah, nothing else to be bought up around those, I don't believe. Hobbit, I think he had the Deagle. Threw that over the Nafany, I'm pretty sure, so they're able to spread out that firepower just a little bit more. And again, 1 to 2 kills, preferably 2+. And at that point, at least you're doing some considerable amount of damage, something that can be capitalized on once the guns come out. Let's see. Mouse focusing around the ramp with a few players. It's actually Shiro who goes aggressive over on B and has found the opening kill over towards the Gambit side. I was going to say it's pretty quickly traded back, but Hobbit actually got himself that kill on Frozen before going down. So already at this point, very solid damage has been done and they keep on fragging. Inter's right now up close. He knows there's a player in that side alley, but he cannot do anything about it when the nade comes in, and then it's Rops on the lurk again to clean up a couple of frags and put an end to it, but way too close. That is way too dangerous for mousesports, losing 3 players.
Way too dangerous indeed. I do like to say I like what Rops is doing on the lurk. I feel like too often teams don't take advantage of the potency of a late lurk through mid. It's such a threat. And what it does is, once you've established it for a few rounds, and they know that the threat is coming, you don't have to play it anymore. They're still going to have to leave a player to watch, even as you're hitting an A take. If you don't enforce that kind of late lurk or that mid presence, Teams are way too quick to abandon and fully commit to fighting an A-ramp. Take A-core! Speaking of A-ramp, will drop 2 bodies with the AWP over here. He's looking for a third as well. Just on the other side of smoke, it's going to be frozen instead to collect Hobbit, as he was so focused on finding the AWPer. And at this point, 2v5, these players are going to save. They're going to back off towards B. If it comes towards B, well and good. They'll fight for it. Otherwise, you know what? Fine. You take this one, mousesports, you move up to 4. There's not a whole lot Axile and Inters can do about it. Axile, speaking of which, there's a player right below him. Is he going to get caught? Not yet. Actually,
yeah, this is just made insane.
Oh. There we go.
Yeah, he was tucked in on the left corner. Not directly below him, but it does end up catching him off guard either way. So it's all on Axel. Acor, he must have heard you saying he had a bit of a quieter map on Inferno, because he comes in and hits 2 ridiculous shots above that smoke over on ramp. And a flawless opening gun round from mousesports. They make up for the fact that they had lost 3 players to the pistols in that round before by not even allowing Gambit to put a dent in them in that gun round. And a few pistols again, maybe to be bought up, a few nades perhaps as well, and some Kevlar. But at the moment, it's looking like mousesports should have themselves a 5-0 start, and this is looking very scary for Gambit. And yeah, as you were saying, they've kind of conditioned them now to have to be very careful about that mid area. Just kind of sticking to the default at the moment overall, so nothing really too special, but when you know you're up against the boys that lack either some nades or in this case have just not really the firepower to work with, then the default does make sense to try and get a read on your opponents. Nafany, I believe, just getting tagged down there as well. Not ideal. On 11 health already. He is one of the players who even invested into Kevlar. Oh, look at Rops. He just creeped behind B. He actually doesn't find that kill. It gets a little dangerous now, but no. He gets both frags. Doesn't even need the scope of that AUG, and suddenly B is completely open. The bomb's going to be ran back in this direction, and with that, the round is done already. Maybe a kill or 2 can be found, but the bomb, once it's down, there's no chance of that retake coming true.
It's so nice to have a player like Rops. You guys are working the one side of the map, right? You're holding a ramp, you're fighting the presence, and you say, all right, Rops, open something up. He walks through, hops on the mid berm, pops on over, kills both B-site defenders, and boom. I mean, it's just pistols in this round, but still. Hobbit will collect 1. That's a gun that they can get. Where'd the gun go? Never mind. Now there's certainly a gun that he could get as he's taking out A-Core. An upgrade to the AWP as well. He's low on health. He can't win the round for sure, but he can get the big green into the next, and he's taken 3 scalps to get to this point. And that's nicely done for Hobbit. Can he keep this alive? He should be able to. I don't think anyone's threatening him. They're moving up the ramp, but he's not actually going to go there. If he just plays here on the scaffolding and doesn't peek, resists the urge, they're going to have this very expensive rifle to work with into the next round.
Oh, he heard the footsteps coming there within the last few seconds, but yeah, good work, Hobbit, showing that he's still in form from those previous maps, even though they haven't had a great start here. A few kills, an up saved over, and maybe a slight push start here for them now coming into the second gun round, which is incredibly necessary if they want to make this a competitive map. As yeah, nothing lacking. They have all the nades, they have the up. Sorry, go on ahead.
I was just going to say, what I'm encouraged by here is that for mousesports, it's not just that the A-ramp take is working. Sometimes you'll see these early T-side leads, and it's just, hey, they know how to run the A-ramp take, and it's working very nicely.
Yeah.
That's not what we're seeing. It's not just staring at smokes for ages. We're seeing A-Core effectively opping at A-ramp. That he's locking down. He's the enforcer there. We're seeing great mid-play out from Rops, and this time from the whole unit. And we're seeing them just constantly keeping Gambit guessing on those rotations. So it's an encouraging start here from mousesports. See if they can keep it up. This time, everybody making their way through mid. This is a change-up. Now they've worked the player on top of the box. That's going to be Rops. And everyone else is going to leave, hoping that he's distracted enough attention that they might find an easy path towards a site plant.
That is the hope. Unfortunately, Shiro is here, and he doesn't normally give you too easy of a path to get past him. Flash, though, it is strong. Okay, takes him off the angle, forces the shot to be took at that point, which unfortunately actually gives away his position now, so they are at least going to be cautious of that as they move up the ramp. But it still ends up being the opening kill coming in favor of Gambit. It's Hoppe who finds it around mid. That was the one lurker. They have finally managed to deal with Rops before the push itself comes in. So this is certainly the best position they've been in thus far. The smokes going down. I'm fine, honestly, with them backing away here and just probably playing for the retake to at least maybe try and catch 1 or 2 players as they push in. But there wasn't a second smoke put down, so never mind. There's plenty of room for Nafany to work with. He's trying to stop that bomb plant, but he's not able to get it done. and actually ends up going down in the smoke eventually to the Mach 10. They have at least managed to hang on to the man advantage for now, so that's the main thing that matters. But obviously the bomb is in play, and suddenly the time is working against Gambit, despite having that man advantage. Oh, and yeah, they want to go real quick. Decent trade up close on BMAS. Watch through the smoke that Inters was able to pull that one back, so a great find. But Dexter and Acor ready for the double peek. They want to try and swing in together. It's actually planted around the corner. This must be some sort of miscommunication, surely. Oh, he actually gets that kill. There was no K either on Inters. So, that's unfortunate.
I mean, that's really odd, right? Presumably, if you're going to do that, you're going to play from the side hallway as opposed to holding from ramp itself. But then both players are holding from ramp. It just doesn't work out. I'm not quite exactly sure what the breakdown was here, but somebody made an error, and it allows Gambit to get on the board. Gambit.
Yeah, I think that was the only place they could really plant, though, because the smoke wasn't covering the other side, right? So I guess maybe once it was planted, they just didn't communicate that correctly, because it was where they had to plant in that situation.
Necessity required it. Didn't work out. They want to go for the test. Look at this push from Axile. He's all the way down by the smoke. BMS, does he realize that this is a possibility? He's looking for it. He's checking for it, but there's a gap right on the right side, so BMS crosses. That could be deadly. Now they're going to work in towards opposite corners. Not able to spot each other just yet. Comes the here, and he's going to spot BMS. That's a huge kill to find early and so much map control. Dexter will try and bring it back, but he's been tagged. He's been dropped. And this side of the map is closed for business. Utility down, a Molotov to hide the fact that there's a player pushing if someone was close enough to hear. This is a great setup. Frozen somehow gets the better of Nafani there, despite the fact that Nafani shot first. Now it's only a one-man advantage, but Axile is on the fast flank, and time is running out for this take. mousesports needs to hit it now, or they need to be very prepared for Axile to be on their behinds. And they appear to be neither. There's one, there's two. The third kill, not quite there, but all but claimed by Axile. 10 points of health for Acor, 3 players to find, 40 seconds in which to do it, and a bomb still to retrieve. He will sprint off, grab that bomb, but where does he even go with it at this point? A, 2 players. Mid, 1 player.
That's been
B, surprisingly open, but they'll hear him rotating off. He's about to be dead. No chance he gets this kill. Shiro's looking for it. Pushes out, and he's done.
Yeah, Shiro was well prepared for that. He had heard the flash being thrown there at the bottom of the ramp just a few seconds before, so we see he was rocking the P250, ready to get that finish. And yeah, Gambit now 2 rounds on the board. They do need to keep this up, but they're starting to find their footing at least. They are managing to stabilize things a little bit. There's still that MP9 in play, which is never ideal. It's on Nafani as well, who's yet to get a kill, so that's never fun. If you're already having a rough game, you're being limited onto weaker weapons. If things don't work out, it can get a little bit tilty, I guess is the way I'd put it. But I don't think Nafani's a player who would let that affect him. We even seen him have a slow start on the first map, I believe it was, before he recovered. But again, mousesports, they do want this ramp control, as you'd expect in most rounds. They're trying to move forward, and initially Gambit looked like they wanted to take a bit of a peek, but they were forced to just fall back from it for the moment. But I believe they're considering the re-aggression. There was that flash that was thrown over. They're not going to go with it, though, no. Oh. Yeah, they definitely want to fight this as aggressively as they possibly can.
Yeah.
Oh, the yeah, gets the double. Didn't expect a third player, but he somehow was able to just hang on long enough for Inters to catch him. Nice little wall bang. 5 on 3. Okay, Gambit are really waking up now.
That they are. This is dangerous indeed. Rops and Bemis. There's only 1 player on B, so if they could get this kill quickly on towards Axile, maybe there's a chance, but it's already, the moment has passed. Hobbit's rotating. They're even bringing a 3rd player over, so there's support available. And Axile was playing so far back because he wanted to avoid that one issue. He's back behind the girder. He's not going to be able to be caught off guard easily. And now they've cleared out mid with Rops. It's all into Bemis. Bemis does have the bomb, so maybe he can get a kill and sneak a plant in here, but I think his moment has passed. I think it's gone, and I think he is done for. 5 players survive. Gambit now making that money and dropping the rounds in the bucket.
Yeah, and there should be another one to come, because it's only a, well, scout and probably some pistols and Kevlar as well to be brought out, because they have some money over on the side of mousesports, but just not enough for the full buy. And actually they're deciding that they need the pause to come true. I mean, that's fair. They've lost now 3 rounds in a row, it's been, I believe, so things are starting to get a little bit out of control. The only issue is, obviously, I would imagine the main kind of focus of this is going to be on that next gun round. Maybe a quick discussion of what they're going to try with the weaker weapons. But obviously it's the following round where they'll actually have all the firepower and utility and such to work with. Here we go. We are going to be ready to get back into the action. Gambit, as I said, they've been waking up now.
That they have. So what's the adjustment for mousesports? The lurk has been shut down. That A-ramp fight has been shut down. 4 players fought ramp in the last round, and they just left 1 on B, and it worked beautifully for Gambit. So you need to change up the game plan. You can't go with what's been working, because it hasn't. You don't have much.
They've been getting that ramp control so easy, though. That's one thing to keep in mind. If they were to get that and then maybe go back pressure B, pressure around mid, and just make it a bit more unpredictable, then I do think they could have a lot more success, even if they went towards the A hit still. But I feel like they could be utilizing getting that control so early on and having so much time to do stuff elsewhere on the map as well a lot better.
Connie's in deep. Molly's to chase out his opponents. Hear the noise. Now he's got this deep control on a player to set up behind him as well. Back to the angle. Tons of utility. A little awkward, though. You reveal that all those nades are going through. Does catch A-core, and Shiro gets the trade on Dexter. So it's a 2-for-1. Was it worth it? Probably.
The
he didn't find one of the guns, though. Oh, it was the bomb. You're right. Definitely worth it. Never mind.
They can't hold on to it, sadly, but... No, it's down on the thing here right now, yeah, on the scaffolding, but... They don't really know that no one's watching it. So at the very least, as you can see, they're wasting like 10 to 15 seconds making sure no one's peeking in before they can go and actually pick it up. And obviously that's going to limit them a little bit with what they can actually do then. So yeah, they are pushing back in and they will be able to find it. But with a man disadvantage and a disadvantage when it comes to the weaponry as well, the odds are kind of stacked against them in being able to turn this one around.
They need someone to go huge. Bemis with the Galil would be the most likely candidate. They're going to come towards B, hoping that he can do it. Gonna be their point of contact. So that means pressure's going to be on Axile. Axile on top of the box cannot track where Bemis is on the other side of the smoke, and so he is dropped. Now there's a chance for a plant at the very least. Invis blows up by the smoke, wants to deny this. He's been tagged, but he did find the first kill. And a nade in. Frozen actually hits the no-scope with the scout, but Hobbit is there to deny anything further. A nade tossed over and 2 quick kills with the rifles. Hobbit continuing his dominance throughout this series, paces the server once more, 11-4 after that round.
Yeah, I'm loving what we're getting from Hobbit. If we manage to see Shiro as well really hitting his form, because I feel like he's not been bad or anything by any means, but I know he can do better. I've seen insane games from him. If he's able to start hitting that form alongside Hobbit, with Axel performing, with Nafany not having poor starts, then this team is a very scary team. And I mean, they've proven that time and time again. But let's see how it goes for them now as well. It looks like they do want to try and actually challenge for this ramp control. As I said, a position that mousesports had been pretty successful in taking at least the initial control. It was more so then when they tried to fight around the site that they were losing players and such. This time though, not so much. Gambit did go aggressive, and importantly, as soon as they get that 1 kill, they realize, cool, we can just leave this now. We have a great advantage. Oh, never mind. They actually want to re-aggress somewhere else. I'm down with this though. Shiro holding the angle up close while Nafany actually takes the peek in, and he only finds 1, sure, but he finds out that there was a couple more players around ramp here, and that's where, well, at least the majority of the presence was for mousesports.
They've got that late lurk and Robs, but it's not really going to much matter if his teammates are all dead before he can do anything. That seems to be what's going to happen. These 2 players completely isolated, can't play together, can't really do anything. It's just, can they single-handedly rip open a site? It's a big ask. Bemis looking. Hobbit ready for him. There's a spot. Gets the tag. That might draw focus, but what else is he going to do with it? Not much, it seems. Rops inching his way forward. 30 seconds. They're running out of time to play this game. He's very patient, poking at the edges, trying to get a pick game. You got to do something. 25 seconds. They're going to run out of clock. Now the bomb has been found. Bemis bringing it back over, presumably to group up with Rops, having failed to make any inroads towards A, but Axile's holding this angle. Now Rops is going to come looking, and, well, this isn't an option anymore. 13 seconds. This might be a save, to be honest. He's either got to die or save. No in between. Bemis collects 1.
Oh, no.
He's going forward. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Gonna get clocked! And clocked indeed he is. No money there for Bemis. Doesn't die in time. Doesn't plant the bomb. Doesn't have anything go his way. And mousesports economy is in the trash as a result.
Damn, you said no in between, and unfortunately that's exactly how it went for Bemis. Ends up going down just after the time runs out. Took himself the 1 kill, but it was nowhere near worthwhile. the economy now is looking pretty rough for mousesports. They buy a little bit, but obviously they are focusing on trying to get the buyout in this next round. With the full loss bonus going, at least, BMouse will have enough for enough to drop over the AK and very likely take a knockback from one of his teammates. Sorry, just go for the rifle himself on my end, but it's Acor, who of course is going to be up and. But it's still a little rough. It doesn't give him even any pistols here in this round to try and contribute. Acor doesn't bother buying a pistol either because he wants to get the op. So it's only a couple of deagles and a scout that can really do anything. But hang on, Rops is one of those players who spent the 700 and even got Kevlar, sorry, alongside that deagle. So see the damage it's able to do, but they line up for Hobbit. It seems like they've kind of been each other's counterparts so far throughout this best of 3. But it's Hobbit who comes out on top of this one. It was to be expected, rather. He had the weaponry, his opponents did not. Can Frozen maybe contribute a small bit more with a couple players low? This scout could be very dangerous. It is actually both of those who are in on mid as well, but no, he doesn't get a chance to even pop off a shot. 6-5, Gambit now with 6 rounds in a row.
It's Hobbit's world, we're all just living in it. 15-4 after a 4K and that anti-eco, to be fair, but it's not like they were easy eco frags, right? Like, he did a good job to line them up and knock them all down with dangerous amounts of health. So good. So good. I can't stress that enough. He's so damn good. What's he going to do in this round? Let's see what Shiro does in the meantime. This op going forward. Where is Hobbit? Hobbit's getting aggressive out towards ramp alongside Nafani. That's what they've done most rounds. Taking that ramp control. Tried to deny it. Tried to get the information, but Shiro's got the angle, and they're going to come test him. There's a flashbang. Goes for the timing shot, but Axile's down deep, so they can come back into this angle if they want. Axile would have to throw the utility to set it up. He's going to come looking, just gun out, and it'll work. Acor gets the trade. Now they know they've got Axile pinned into the corner, but they still got to deal with him. And they won't be able to do so easily. Even damage extra onto Acor as he takes him out with the block. Health is getting very low. Hobbit still gets that kill on Rops despite being knocked down to 9 points of health. It's a 2v2 now. Frozen is burning. He's melting. And now he's all alone. The loneliest snowman. He'll grab the bomb, but he's coming back to the stairs. He doesn't realize Nafani's gotten under him already. And eventually Nafani's going to realize his position, take the kill, gain the op as well, and Gambit claim a 2-round lead.
Yeah, it was a little bit ambitious. I think it was Inters who tried to continue going aggressive over on B there after they were just after Hobbit got that kill. Sorry, he went down, and that was what maybe gave mousesports an opening towards the bomb site. But obviously, quick reactions and quick mollies as well, importantly, to delay that push were what allowed for Gambit to still close that one out pretty easily. So yeah, 7-5. They've taken 7 rounds in a row. Mousesports, they're very, very worried about this, especially on a map here like Vertigo, where they should be finding a decent amount of success on the T side. To now drop 7 in a row, it is just so scary. The only positive I'm really looking at the moment is the fact that the economy for Gambit is not insane, but it's also getting to a position where there's not many rounds left, so it'll probably be enough unless mousesports were somehow able to just win this one and then win the next one to maybe give the final round a little bit easier of a chance for them. So they'd have to do it right now, otherwise it's just going to be gun rounds for the rest of the half.
I'm with you on that. I don't think Gambit has to much care about the economy right now, unless they lose everything with no one surviving for subsequent rounds. I'm just not too concerned for them. We're going to see the hits going to come through. On they move, Nafani. Trying to silence this aggressive A-ramp take, and he has gotten bolted. And realize he's been tagged. No, he still gets the kill on Frozen. Keeps his Opera alive. That's huge. Gonna try and do more. This is really nicely played. And they've got Hobbit here behind the cement barrels. This is going to be so tough. Hobbit strikes for a kill. Nafani gets another. As soon as they try and zero out one player, they get stabbed from another direction. Shiro with the backstab onto Acor. And Rops is the last survivor. So we were worried about maybe breaking that economy. Don't even have to think about it, as Rops is now in a 1v5 with no bomb control, plenty of time to work with, but not a hope in hell of taking this round. It would have to be a titanic performance. He's got no information. He's got very little utility. One Molotov. He's got nothing working in his favor other than the location of the bomb, which he doesn't have in his control. This is a disaster.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's becoming a bit of a trend over these past few rounds. They're not really finding much success at all in their endeavors. He's left to just go ahead and save. At least this time, it doesn't look like he's going to be... anyone's going to be going down after time, but Gambit, if they wanted, could send out a player or two to hunt this. As we had mentioned, because the economy isn't going to be an issue for them, especially with winning out this round, well, potentially completely cleanly. But if they were to, of course, try and invest a player or two, losing those wouldn't really be much of an issue. But no, I don't think they're too worried about it. Ensure they keep their own weapons, ensure that they're on track to finish and maybe even with the 10-5 half. And at that point, you've got to be incredibly worried for Mouse.
You do. And especially when you look at the numbers. I mean, the reality is, if you look at Gambit's Vertigo, they win the majority of their rounds on the T side, as one would expect from a Vertigo team. That's not true for everybody, but it's pretty common. So on their slightly less favored side, if you look at their numbers, they're dominating. They're playing really well, and they're playing really well down the stretch, which gives us hope that they're going to come into the halftime with momentum, be able to swing that into the second as well. And Hobbit, man's just transcendent. 17-4. Hobbit, the one-man wrecking crew, wherever he is on the server, is not where you want to be. Gambit. Got some pressure coming down mid. Seems to be the answer for mousesports. They want to try and chase this. Use the one AK of Rock to open something up, but he's going to have to deal with Shiro, and Shiro will drop him immediately. No chance for a trade. Shiro is out of there. Back and around the corner with the AWP. They will give up mid, but at the cost of Rops' life.
Yeah, I think that's a fair trade for Gambit, considering Rops was the main reason that they were worried about mid throughout the CT side as well. They're feeling pretty good rather about that opening kill. We'll see what can be done though with the rifle and some pistols still in play. Oh, they want to try and boost up. See if they can maybe catch that player on the bomb side off guard. Axel actually playing in the back corner behind the pillar right now, so we'll see whether he'll be able to spot that or not. He has quick rotations though. That's the thing. There's actually two players playing up close on mid. So if he manages to spot those players, or even if the nades start coming over, then there's going to be plenty of time for the defense here on B to actually be bolstered up. And they really aren't. They don't really have any other control elsewhere. So I was going to say they do have to be worried about even potential quick flanks coming in. But no, I don't think they're going to get that far. Okay, good shot. It was actually Dexter who got the kill. I thought it was Acor on the CZ initially. Tries to take the fight in towards the spawn. He will go down, and well, now it's all on Dexter. The new addition. He needs a 1 versus 4 clutch. He's already got that previous one, but it's not allowed. The flank from Nafany finally does come in. It's there to shut him down, and 9-5. Gambit just continue winning rounds. 9 in a row, Mike. Were you expecting this? I was not.
I was not either. Look, it's a 9-5, but apparently mousesports might be feeling like they're not putting enough work in right now. This is brutal. And you're right, it's 9 rounds in a row. That's madness. Mousesports had such a good start to this map, and Gambit, well, once they got the guns under them, once they got the economy under them, it was a different story. They figured out how to shut down this A-ramp take and deal with Rops' aggression in towards mid, and everything changed up. There we go, though. Dexter gets an opening pick. He gets a second as well as he catches Nafany dancing around the smoke, so that's the A site wide open. Rops gets a kill on the flank. So here's what mousesports, this is what was supposed to be happening all map long. They're looking to bookend a very good start, a very mediocre middle part, with a round win right on the end. But Rops won't be part of that. Axile's chased him down. That confirms that there's maximum of 1 player here on the A site. That is Inters, who's actually going to get aggressive. Instead of playing a retake with his teammate, he wants to get kills on the site proper. Bomb's now been planted. Inters is looking for this. Is he ready for it? Yes, he is. Finds Bemis around the edge of the smoke, but now they know he's here. What does he do? He just stays. He just stays and they back off. Okay. Comes out the victor.
Unfortunately, no nades, no smoke for them to try and actually get in there and stick on towards that bomb. I think they put one down a moment ago, maybe. Actually, yeah, apparently they did, because that was blocking off the angle from the sideway, but it's still going to fall all onto Axile. Gets the 2 kills, and okay, he's just going to look to try and stick it. Frozen, though, with the AK, spams away, and, well, eventually gets the kill. He had actually just taken Axile off of the bomb, and there it is, 9-6 at the halftime. A little bit of a save there from mousesports to finally salvage out 1 more round. But is that going to be enough for them to now recover this on the CT side? Of course, guys, we're going to have to send it over to a little bit of a break first, so stick with us. We're going to find out after the break.
A whispered out fills your head, but you have to fight again. So take one step, take another. the strength for your brothers. Erase the doubt with your battle cry. With your battle cry. You feel the earth move to the drum of steel boots. Banish the fear inside. You're strong enough that you don't have to hide. No, you don't have to hide. You're strong enough with your battle cry. Brings you to your knees.
Show me an opening in the clouds, and I'll take it. Yeah, reminding myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. Oh, 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 shooting through the clouds. I know it's alright. It's alright. Heavens are the limit.
Well, we're back with half number 2 here on Vertigo to decide which of these teams will be making their way into the Katowice event proper and which will be headed down to the lower bracket. It's all decided here in these next 15 rounds. Or more. Or more. You never know here, Dean. But it's not looking good for mousesports. They have been getting red, they've been getting battered, and now they're into a pistol. Let's see if they can find some signs of life, or if Gambit is going to shut them down.
Yeah, well, this pistol round could be a big indicator of how things are going to go. Gambit, as we said, had won 9 rounds in a row before mousesports eventually put a bit of a break to that run that they had. But now it's mousesports who need to put on one of their own. Smokes in towards A. They already have got themselves up, of course, extremely close, but also the rotations have come true from Mouse. They do know what's going on, but they, at the moment anyway, just can't do anything about it. Rops gets one from above the smoke, but that's it. Every other frag goes the way of Gambit as they take full control of A and full control of the round, as it's all onto A-core. A near impossible 1v4 at this point, and he actually gets caught with the knife out there, trying to transition away through the spawn, and there it is, 10-6, Gambit up to double digits. A pause straight in. I think there's actually a technical or something, is it? We're not getting the countdown.
Perhaps. So. Let's take a look. We can check to see if we've got it in the log.
Yeah, we'll have a look now. Yeah, technical pause coming in from mousesports.
Well, hopefully whatever the issue is resolved rather quickly, but this gives us just a chance to talk about it. Look, the natural order has been restored. Gambit's won the pistol. Maybe what went wrong for mousesports in the first half was they won a pistol. Their first pistol in the series. They go up 5 rounds, and they don't get anything until the last round of the half. So you got to let Gambit get the pistol, apparently, is how this works out. What do you think of my theory here, Dean?
Well, I mean, it did seem like when Gambit were winning the pistols, they were losing the map. So that was only on 1, but overall, according to how that first half went anyway, mousesports have had more success with losing the pistol. Obviously, it's a troll theory, But I mean, if you were to just look at how
No,
this game is going, it would
100%
have some
serious.
crazy-
Everyone in Twitch chat should take that 100% seriously. No tongues or in
Definitely.
cheats whatsoever.
Your goal is always to lose the pistol rounds because you want to give your enemies some false hope, you know, because then it just crushes them more when you win the first gun round. Yeah.
Well, fortunately,
Kappa,
that
by the way.
technical pause was quickly resolved. Now we've got Deagles out. We got 3 smokes to work with as well and a single HE. No kit, though. With the 3 smokes, you think they might even go for like a ramp retake type scenario where they throw out the smokes and just try and force that bomb defuse, but it'd be a full 10-second if they did it here. That's not really an appetizing prospect. Players come in around a molly for the cement bags. A nice nade on the Shiro.
Really
Like
done anything
that.
to Hobbit, apparently.
Tickled him. A little bit. Just a wee. You know, everyone knows that shrapnel just stops flying after like 2 feet in the air. Thanks.
I think it's because he was up the ramp and Shiro was down the ramp. Apparently they fly better downwards. Axile and Hobbit, though, they are going to be finding those opening kills as they move towards A. And, well, yeah, so far no real resistance is being put up by mousesports. Honestly, at this point, maybe consider saving those 2 pistols for Rops and Bimas, but there's 1 kill. Are they going to try and maybe steal that Mac 10 before they back away? Nah, just run off. Try and have at least a little something to work with in this next round. The thing is, though, very likely now we're looking at a 12-6 lead for Gambit. Again, mousesports started off this map with a 5-0 lead. Since then, it's just been all Gambit.
The cupboard has been distinctly bare.
Ooh.
They're going hungry. And that's not even going to be a pistol
around.
save through for Bemis. Yeah, as he does stick around. Rops wants an exit. He wants a gun. He doesn't just want the pistol. He's going to drill shots in as they try and save, because if he does enough, if he connects enough, they may not survive the fall. But he did not. They are all going to make it through. He will as well. But he's a lone survivor for mousesports. And look, their cushion is shrinking. 5-round lead now for Gambit. They're inching ever closer to winning this series, to moving on to the big event and booking their spot in the Katowice group stage.
Yeah, and I think this kind of caught us both off guard. Initially, I had made the prediction of Gambit, but it relied on them actually picking up their own map choice of Dust 2. I was thinking things were going to get a little bit spicier then once we went on to Inferno, especially if mousesports were up by a map, and that's what we seen, but mousesports obviously weren't able to make it work on Inferno, and on Vertigo, things have been a pretty dire situation, to say the least, so far. Rops, he again is able to get himself a kill. He's been contributing whenever he can, but only the 1 kill with that Deagle. Up against the guns, it's not really enough. I mean, it's a decent frag, but considering none of his teammates are actually able to get the weapon out of it, then it's probably not going to do a lot for them unless someone else now is able to step up as well. And who else has been giving us anything for mousesports?
It's really been Rob's. No, actually, Acor had a really good first half. Acor had a really good first half of the AWP. He was a difference maker, which we had called him out ahead of time, saying that he had to be, and he did step up. Especially when rounds were working, he was a strong presence. Let's see what they can do. Now Fani drops a player. That's Acor, the man we were talking about. Put the spotlight on him, and he can't deal with its glare. Dexter, that nade, he practically catches it on his back. Doesn't feel good. Now it's just left to Bemis. Bomb will go down. Round is over. Bemis can try and drop a kill some here on the periphery. They don't need him. Obviously, he doesn't have anything worth saving. He's just got the single deagle, not even armor. But they don't really need him to take something through. If he could find a parting gift, but he will take 1. The $300 he gets from the kill is probably more valuable than the Mac 10, even if he could save it.
Yeah, considering they're going into the buy in the next round, I don't think he would have wanted the Mac 10. If he had have got it, he probably would have kept it, to be fair, just to get the extra few nades and such, but it's not really worth investing the time towards. So we may actually move back in. Does he want it? I mean, it can be useful. It's not like Inferno, though. I feel like it's a little bit more awkward, especially when you're coming in towards a retake then with the Mac 10. It's not usually the ideal weapon to work with. So yeah, he's not going to bother with going to with retrieving that. Instead, he'll get his own buy coming in here, as will the rest of the team, including a double op setup. This is something that they were pulling out a little bit. Even back on the CT side of Inferno, they tried to pop it out once or twice. Didn't really get it going. Let's see now if Acor and Rops are going to be able to contribute. Was it Rops who pulled it out in the previous one as well? I believe it was.
It was Frozen. Frozen on Inferno.
Ah, yeah, that's what I was thinking initially. I think, yeah, I thought Frozen had it a little bit on this too as well. Oh, did Shiro spot that? No, I don't think he did, but he just spammed through. Unlucky Frozen. Oh, that hurts. That's gotta hurt.
That certainly doesn't feel good. Now let's see what they can do. To be fair, that's what Nafani was doing on the other side, so, you know, they're calling the bluff. They're saying, all right, you want to try and employ our strats against us? Get shot through the smoke, bud. Dropped immediately. Try for the lineup and find it. Oh, this nade's gonna be good. Is that right on the player? Yep. Rops catches that one on the forehead. Now Nafani's found another kill. This is starting to look very bleak indeed for mousesports in this first gun round. They are going to attempt take here towards A, and can Mouse hang on? Can Dexter hang on, to be specific? Well, he gets one and done. Bombs down. Bemus could consider the save. He wants to test it. You can see Rops isn't even flinching. He's not even coming this direction, which means that Bemus is likely going to back off. If you're going to save, save. There's no point to getting one kill here as they chase you. That does very, very little for your economy. Wants to clear out mid, wants to deal with any immediate pursuers. But he's eventually going to back off in towards mid, and that will be another round for Gambit. 13 on the board. Gambit creeping so close to this series win.
Yeah, it's getting there. We're not seeing, as I said, any resistance really from mousesports. One round since that initial streak of 5, and there's at least going to be Bmaz getting a frag to hold onto his gun. He wanted the AK. He's wondering where it's gone. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to find it. I honestly don't know. I was confused as well. Maybe it was under the body and he just didn't see it. Or maybe it blew in a little bit towards the ladder.
It got launched up, and you know how there's kind of that open ceiling section with some rafters there? It's just in the roof now. It's going to get sealed into the drywall. It'll be in that office building forever.
I don't even know if he was under the opening, was he? I think he was under the roof there. Either way,
Yeah,
unfortunately, didn't get the AK. The buy is still pretty decent, though, from Mouse, thanks to saving over those weapons, but they need to make this one work, otherwise it's just going to be Gambit probably taking this over the finish line in a super convincing fashion.
Have you ever done that, Dean, where you open up, you know those, like, those ceilings where they've got the replaceable tiles? And you push one open and find something on the other side? Can you imagine if you did that and there was an AK-47 on the other side? It'd be quite the shock.
I don't think we really use those over here in building many things.
They're everywhere in American schools. American public schools always have those somewhere in the building. Guaranteed. They're the worst things ever. Although it is fun when you're a kid to Mario jump and just punch them up.
Oh, Jesus.
That's rather satisfying. There's going to be a nade in. Does that land right on Rops? How did that not hit Rops? That looked like it was just
I think it went over, didn't it?
I guess so.
Yeah, I think I may have went a little bit over while he was tucked in up close. Either way, he's pretty thankful to have not taken any damage from it. The issue is his teammates are not finding the same success. They are being picked apart across the map. Another entry towards A prompts the full hit to complete on this side of the map, and it's going to have to be Bmaz who steps up. They tried to flash him over to take a peek and see what can be pulled back, but the answer was nothing. It is now all onto Acor and Rops to save the day, and there is a small bit from Acor to give us some hope. The bomb's only going down now as well, to be fair, so they do have the time. But do they even want to give this a go? I don't know. I think they probably just need to save again.
It should be a save, and you're seeing them back off now, so they are going to, indeed. But there was a concern that if they gave up presents too early, you're just going to get chased down on the save, because at this point the money's so good that Gambit's going to hunt. Acor finds one. Nearly gets caught by the second. Axile there, not going to be there in time, and Rops now taking control in mid, might be able to keep his teammates safe if they do come over the mid berm. Does he have the angle on it? Looks like he might. Rops going to collect a kill, and that should be both guns making it through. So good damage, good save, but no round. That's what matters at this point, Dean. Your guns are great, but it doesn't matter what gun you have if you can't win a round with them. And Gambit creep ever closer. 2 rounds needed. 2 rounds needed. And this group of youngsters with a veteran captain will book their spot in one of the most prestigious events in the Counter-Strike calendar. They'll make their way through to the event proper, out of this play-in stage and into the groups.
Yeah, and in a pretty tremendous fashion as well. Obviously, their best of 1 was incredibly one-sided. They started things off a little bit rocky here by dropping Dust 2, but their Inferno, after having a rough start, they came back in, were able to get that victory there, and well, they had a rough start here on Vertigo as well, but as soon as they woke up, no one could put them back to bed, apparently. There is not enough sleeping pills to get these boys to calm down at the moment, because they really want that place, as you said, in the tournament. And so do mousesports. It's not the end of the road for them if they lose this one, obviously, but they would have loved to have been able to make it through and, as you said, have a little bit of time to be preparing those next games.
It also it's such a sigh of relief, right? just an exhale. Everything gets a little qualified into the next stage. But that's not going to happen just yet. Gambit, they need 2 more rounds. They can taste that sweet, sweet victory. We're going to see aggression up the ramp here. It's Nafani who's leading the charge. He's got players just on the other side. Is he going to get caught? Indeed, he is. Acor brings him down, but there's a trade onto Acor. So now it's a big problem here. His position was known and the shot was hit by Shiro. Frozen is still around, but he's got a lot of responsibility for this site. Frozen and Bemis, and Frozen is gone now. All onto Bemis. Huge pressure on. Rops takes a kill elsewhere, but if they continue to pressure onto the A ramp, I don't know what's going to happen here. Bemis is retaking the space towards the side hall, and he might actually find the flank onto Hobbit. Does he find the timing? Comes around the corner. Just in time? No. Hobbit has slipped away. But man, that was close. So A's closed for business. They have the information on that now, or at least should. What does that cause Dexter to do? He's moving back in towards mid, perhaps. Is he all the way down through the ladder? I think he is. I can't really tell from this particular map. Yeah. We're going to have a molly into the back site. That's going to make it very awkward for Rops indeed. He's burning. He's got a peek, and he doesn't get a kill. Damage done, but damage is not good enough at this juncture. Bomb's going to go down. Dexter dropping mollies, smokes to cover them off. Gotta try for the hero play. 19 seconds to go, but he cannot deny the bomb plant. The nade, good, but it's not on the low HP player. That's Inter's out by the stairs, and now coming through the smoke, Hobbit should catch him. Looking for the close-up player, and Hobbit indeed does have the first, all into Bemis. A 1v3, he's gonna attempt the hero play, but playing out on the edge is Hobbit. Oh, nearly gets the kill just with the spam, but Bemis, he'll take one, and then press on in. Has the kit, no longer has utility, and Shiro, with that cover gone, will eliminate his opponent. Map point. Series point found here, Dean. One more of these next 9, and Gambit are through.
This is insane. mousesports right now, to get an overtime, they need to step up and match the 9-round win streak that Gambit were able to get in that previous half. Nothing to say that they can't do it. But yeah, I don't think they're going to do it. I'm not going to lie to you, Mike. It's just a bit too much to handle at this point.
If I were a betting man, not take that one.
Yeah, no, I don't think too many people at this point would be. 15-6, it's such a difficult scoreline to come back from. I mean, I never start believing in those comebacks till you hit about 10-11 rounds, and they're even a good bit from that before it really starts becoming somewhat believable. Again, though, good entries. They had actually lost the player to Bemas initially, but a flash in towards B, only a sole defender there. They managed to get that trade. And yeah, the bomb goes down. Now it's going to have to be the 4-on-4 retake for mousesports to keep themselves alive in this series. If they don't make it happen, then unfortunately they will be heading down to that lower bracket, and it looks like that's what's going to be happening, Mike. As Acor at least fights a small bit back in, but they're sitting with a man disadvantage.
They need a hero. They need a knight in shining armor, and it's not going to be Acor. He is put down, and Gambit make their way through. 16-6. They have done it. They've taken the series after dropping their map pick